Hey everybody, this is Adam, and I'm here to bring you an Eclectic Gamer review of Betrayal at House on the Hill. Now, before I get into the review, let me talk a little bit about how Betrayal works and what it is. Betrayal at House on the Hill is a game for 3 to 6 people that is semi-cooperative. So what happens is, as you start out the game, you have your characters, and you have tiles like this that start off the house. And then every turn you can move around the house, and you'll encounter other rooms that you randomly place on the board. So as you play, the board gets randomly built as you progress and explore new rooms. Every time you explore rooms, you could find items, you could find events that happen to your character, you could find these omens, which are omens of bad things to come. Now, why are your characters exploring a house on the hill filled with inevitable betrayal? I don't know, just go with it. But the first part of the game, you literally just kind of walk around figuring stuff out. You don't have much of a goal. Maybe after a couple times you've played, you realize that you might want to make sure you have a way to get into the basement or something, but you're just kind of wandering around. But every time you draw one of these omens, there's an increasing chance that you start the haunt. And the way the haunt works is, depending on which omen you grabbed and where it was grabbed, then you get one of 50 random haunts that happen. They're different events, and they could be all sorts of horror-themed things. There's zombies, witches, ghouls, demons, vampires, aliens, all sorts of things. And depending on which one you get this totally different story about what happens to your characters. And usually one person becomes a traitor and is trying to kill off the other characters. But sometimes there's multiple traitors, sometimes there's none, sometimes there's hidden traitors. They're all different. And that's basically the game. And I can't really tell you much more about the game after that because it's always different. Each of the 50 scenarios is different. So sometimes you might be trying to kill the traitor. Sometimes you might be trying to slow the traitor down before he can accomplish something. Sometimes the traitor might die off immediately and the traitor just plays as one of the monsters. They're all a little different. But that's basically how the game is played. So now, I don't know you. I don't know whether you're going to like this game. So the best I can do is kind of give some of the descriptors of this game that I think are pretty relevant that might make people like or dislike the game. And then you can decide for yourself. So one of the first ones is there's lots of variety in this game. As you can tell, every game will be different for a long time. Must have played like 20 games of this, and somehow we've never gotten a duplicate. Or if we get a duplicate, it was from so long ago that we didn't remember. So it gives you a lot of variety. Things are changing all the time. Some people love that so you can get new things going on. Some people don't like that because they want to hone in on one thing and, sort of understand it more and grasp it and get used to it. And they fear change, right? So this could be good or bad for you. Just basically like all attributes or all, things about a game like this. Second one I want to talk about is randomness. There's a lot of randomness in the game. Depending on if the person with all the weapons becomes the traitor, then they might just destroy you and you have no real recourse to it. Maybe the room you need to find to do this is buried in the stack still and you don't have it. And so sometimes it turns out really balanced, sometimes it doesn't, but you don't have a lot of control over it. That's the thing. Some people like not having this control because it actually makes it easier to get new people into the game. Or some people like it just because they don't know what's going to happen. It's more of a surprise, and some people really dislike that. So that's up to you. We also call this game semi-cooperative because usually it's one person against everyone else. Some people like that because you can kind of get this unique all versus me versus the world mentality. Some people don't like it because they feel like they're being put on the spot. I really like it, but some people don't. It's also got a very strong theme. Each one of these stories gives you sort of a background telling you what's going on and why this is happening, what everyone's goals are, and things to say if either side wins. So there's a very strong theme that's built into it. Some people like that. Some people like their game to be more mechanics than theme. So, I don't know. I would also say it's very inconsistent. This goes a little bit with randomness, but I think it's different. It's inconsistent in that you're playing the game multiple times doesn't necessarily help you get into a better position the next time. Because you have no idea what's going to happen, you can try to group all your guys together as a strategy, but then maybe the traitor will just kill you all. Or you could try to separate out, but then maybe you need to be together to beat the traitor. It's very hard to learn from your previous games to make your next games better, because a lot of it's just kind of stuff happens to you. Some people like that because it means a really good player can't trounce everyone else and make all the games the same. Some people dislike it because they don't feel like they can improve at all at it. The final one I want to talk about is it's very climactic. Every scenario has, this is how you beat the villain, this is how you beat the traitor, and everyone's running around scrambling, trying to figure out how to get all the items you need, or slow the traitor down enough, or do whatever. So sometimes it's a little anticlimactic. It doesn't always work out this way. We've had games that end one turn after the traitor shows up because someone throws a dynamite and kills all the zombies. But most of the time it's really climactic. It culminates in this like really cool like end scene, and you might win with one person left alive or whatever else. But it's very climactic, and so a lot of times when a game is climactic, it's set up in such a way that it will always get to that point, and you can't like kind of just like play better to steamroll, to an inevitable conclusion. It has like catch-up mechanics or ways for both sides to do well, and so you might not actually like that. Some people like it where they know exactly what's going on, they know exactly who's winning, and then it doesn't have that artificial climactic nature to it. So those are 6 of the big attributes I thought I'd talk about that I think might make people like or dislike Betrayal at House on the Hill. Now we'll have a link down here in the video notes, but at Eclectic Gamer we've created a website where you can enter how you feel about a bunch of these attributes and more, and given those your profile and what you think and the game profiles that our editors have created, it will instantly generate a list of games for you and what we think you'll think of those games on a 1 to 10 scale. So all you basically have to do is enter how you like these attributes. Do you love climactic games? Do you like climactic games? Do you dislike it? Do you hate them? And you do that for all the attributes, and it'll basically generate ratings for you. And so you can see what these games will be like for you, not necessarily what everyone else thinks about them. There'll be a link down there, but it's eclectic-gamer.com/ratings to get to the review site, and it'll have a nice explanation there on how to do it. Now, as for me, the site gave me a 10 for this game. You might be able to tell how I've talked kind of excitedly about some of it, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy themed games, even if that means they're not necessarily as competitive, like you can't do well at them. That goes hand in hand with the climactic games. I tend to like it more because it's random, just because I don't know what's going to happen, and like it's sort of just exciting, and it makes it really easy to get new people into the game because they don't feel intimidated. Like if you play a game where you can get really good at it, then it's harder to get new people into it because you don't want to crush them. But yeah, so this game, it's a 10 for me. The system gave me a 10. It's sort of spot on like that, but I'm one of the editors. I wrote the game profile, so maybe that makes sense. But anyway, thanks for watching this Eclectic Gamer review of Betrayal at House on the Hill. Try the site out. Let me know what the site gave you for Betrayal at House on the Hill and what you actually think of it if you've played it before. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.